Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be reviewing another Tekton tool. This is maybe not so much of a tool as some of their Toolbox Organization. I got some wrench rails to try out in my toolbox, so I'm going to show them to you in my toolbox and tell you my thoughts about them, what's good, what's bad, and go into more detail. So stay tuned and let's get started. All right, so we're over here at the toolbox. I wanted to talk to you about the Tekton, some Toolbox Organization. Obviously, these, if you buy a set from Tekton, you can get them either with the organization rail for the tool, the tool rail, whatever you want to call it. You can get it this way, or sometimes you can get them in bags, like a roll bag. If you were kind of more like on the go or a mobile, this would not be as economical as just being able to roll it up in a bag, and then when you need it, you just roll it out, and boom, there you are. But the ones that I specifically bought were these stubby rails. This is the stubby rail, and this is the standard wrench rail. So you can see that the wrench rails are different in the fact that they go from the standard one gets smaller down here and goes bigger up here, and this stubby one is designed for stubby wrenches, but it just stays in a straight line. I like the idea of this design here, this here. That way, if you wanted to, it's not really stable enough. If you move all the wrenches over to one side, it will tend to lean. So like if you were going to try to organize them this way to kind of do more space, get more space, it will just lean over. The whole thing will just lean over because of the design. So I tried that, so it's not really good for that. But this is holding the same amount of wrenches. Actually, it's holding one more or one less. Yeah, this Cobalt set's not complete. So basically I have two 13s over here, and I'm missing, it didn't come with an 11. So I have two 13s because I ended up having two sets of wrenches, and some of them overlapped. So this set over here goes from 8 to 19, and it has an 11, and this set goes from 8 to 19 with no 11, two 13. So it's holding the same amount of wrenches, but I think I have one thing to show you here in the toolbox, and that is the fact that these stubby rails, I tried them out in here, and these drawers here for this Milwaukee box are not very deep, so they actually hit. I don't know if that's showing up, but it hits right there, just because of the way it is. So you kind of have to push this down for me to close this drawer. And so for someone that has like a normal toolbox, it's kind of hard to say. This regular standard rail, and even this one here for these long ratcheting wrenches, which I have a video on if you want to check that out, but they don't hit. So just this one hits. This one over here just barely, goes under there, but it does fit, and this one does not, and that's just because of the base down here. So looking at it, you can, if you look down there, you see how thick it is down here. They could make this thinner. I'm assuming that would be beneficial for the stubby wrenches as well. I don't know why it's thicker at the base. But, there's you could cut out probably a good 1/8 inch or more through this whole bottom. Maybe not down here, but up here you could definitely cut out. Maybe kind of make it go, I'm not sure if this is showing up, as well, but make it the same same thickness down here, and then kind of come up as you go back here. I don't really think you have to worry about the wrenches, like touching the box, because this standard rail here is very thin. If you can see what I'm saying, this was kind of the design that I think the stubby rails should mimic. Because if you were to order a stubby set of wrenches, they would be the same sizing as this, the same range of sizes, and it would still have the same issue, where for people that have thinner drawers, I mean, I have standard and metric in separate drawers, and they're two thin drawers and they're right next to each other. I don't have two thick drawers that are right next to each other that are the same. This one's got this weird little lid for storing crap, and then this one's got screwdrivers. This one's kind of wasted space here. If I had two drawers this size, it would be perfect. But to each his own for what your tool situation is, but for general purpose, as far as having a more consumer grade toolbox, the drawers are going to be thinner and smaller, so having the ability to do what you need to do is imperative. So I ordered one metric stubby rail, and then I ordered two standards, because when I got these Tekton standard wrenches, they came with a rail, a normal one, but these bigger sizes wouldn't fit. Even on a normal rail, they wouldn't fit, because like I said, these drawers in this box are kind of thin where I have this stored. So this whole section here, both of these, I have to combat the wrenches. The wrenches hit, and then the rails hit. So the wrenches hit here too. The max I can go on these stubby rails is 7/8. I still have another slot here, and I don't have another slot over here because I've got an extra wrench in here. So it's just one of those things where if they can make the base of the rail thinner, it would be a great benefit for general tool storage. So just a thought. I am looking at getting some different rails, some different wrench rails. I kind of bought these because I was already ordering a shipment of tools from Tekton, and I said, well, let me try them. And I didn't want to get the standard ones because the base takes up so much space, which is really not a huge deal like this, but I was hoping to be able to arrange these differently to get more space, but it just hasn't worked out the way I wanted. So there are wrench organization systems out there that allow you to run one set this way from largest to smallest, and then be able to flip this set, your next set, for people that have more than one set, this way. And you can store the tools back to back, but these wrenches here face you the correct way. They face this way. If that makes any sense. I mean, if you look them up, you can definitely find them, but basically, if you can already store normal ones this way, but you just can't see your sizing. So you can definitely save some space by doing it this way, but Tekton doesn't really offer that, and most of these general purpose rubbery plastic kind of rails are they just don't work like that. I know Gear Wrench has a set that they are coming out with that they patented. You can get it on Amazon and stuff like that, and I'm sure there's some other manufacturers out there that already have that capability as well, just in different styles. So that's going to be my thoughts on these stubby rails. Like I said, I tried it, and they just don't work quite the way I need it to for my toolbox. They may work for you, and they are definitely a good price. I'll put the price on the screen, but they weren't super bad for pricing. I think they were $10 a piece, maybe. So they're not a bad deal, but if they don't work, they don't work. And there are definitely other solutions out there. So I'm not disappointed, but I'm not super pleased. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. For right now, they're still serving their purpose, but it's a little bit of a pain every time I want to open my drawer fully and then I go to close it. I have to kind of reach all the way down in here and pinch this down so I don't, because if I shut it like this, this whole rail will just come shooting forward and it'll never close. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you have any wrench organization suggestions, I have my eye on several. And so I'm definitely, if you have any inputs, I would greatly appreciate that. If you have any more questions about the rails that I have, these Tekton ones, let me know and I'll do my best to answer. And yeah, thanks for watching. I've got other Tekton tool reviews, so you should be able to see that at the end of this video to click on some other ones. I've got one more Tekton tool that I ordered in my latest batch, and I'm super unpleased with it. So if that's something that interests you, definitely keep an eye out for that. And thanks for watching.